So I promised you some flexibility content. So we're going to start out with an arm stretch. So I have been working out my arms and upper body a lot, so my arms are really tight. And this is just a good stretch all around, just to get that flexibility in your triceps and your biceps and whatnot. Next, we're going to do some head rolls, stretching the neck. Believe it or not, every time you lift your shoulder and pull your neck a little bit more to the side, it actually releases that muscle on the side there, so you get a really good deep stretch. Now, this is one of my favorite stretches because it really helps with my back, because you know this back ain't like it used to be, okay? Aches and pains and the moaning. But this is a nice stretch for my back and my arms and just getting ready to sit nice and deep in it. This is a stretch I typically do in my yoga class, and it just feels so good to release.
Turn me inside out, make my heart beat. Need no one else, you're all I need. Personality, everything you do.
Now we're moving on to our split stretches. So we start with an H stretch, just to get hips comfortable, hips straight, and then we're going to extend the front leg all the way down. Now, if you feel pain, then that's not good. But if you feel a little discomfort, that's okay, because the muscle is stretching. You just have to know the difference between pain and discomfort. So I'll go ahead and bend all the way down as far as you can without it being painful. If it's uncomfortable, that's a great zone to be in, but pain is no bueno. Abort immediately. Flexing the foot actually helps with the hamstring stretch so that you can really slide into that split. And holding here for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds, if you can stand it, is good. And then you can slide on down, really get on top of your hip, really will help with that full split stretch with both legs. You don't want to sit too far forward or too far back. Now, my right leg, always a little bit more difficult than the left. I'm a lefty, but I have to say at 33 and not dancing as often as I used to. Now, I used to dance every single day, and I used to teach 6 days a week for a long time. So now I'm sitting up in a stuffy office. So I would have to say for myself that my flexibility is pretty good. Just saying. But obviously there's always room for improvement. I'm always working and just keeping myself mobile and flexible, because that really, to me, really helps as I get older. So now we're doing the same stretch on the left. Now, as you can see, I'm a little bit better on the left foot. Now, that is typical. One leg is going to be better than the other. Some people have both, but sometimes one leg will be better. And I'm more flexible on my left foot than my right foot. All right, sitting in my butterfly stretch. This is helpful for the hips. So hip mobility is really important with flexibility and just staying mobile. This is a really good stretch for that. And then I have another stretch that is going to be really good. It's technically a froggy stretch, but that'll be later on in my video. That's really good for the hips. Now again, don't kill yourself. These are exercises that have to be done every day, at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, to just get you going and get used to your muscles being flexible. Now, in my personal opinion, and I have heard this from other dancers, and obviously, like I said, I've been dancing and teaching for a very long time. The warmer your body is, the more your body will be able to stretch. Your muscles are like rubber bands. When they're internally warm, so after you've done a really good workout and you're really warm, sweaty, that is the best time to stretch. Do not neglect your stretch at the end of your workout. I know sometimes people would just say, oh, I'll get to it later. If you have time, please try to make time to really stretch after your workout. It is really important. You want to think your muscles as rubber bands. If you have a rubber band and you know it's cold, right? When you pull it, it snaps. But when a rubber band is like been used and, whatever, it tends to stretch a little bit longer. So just think about your muscles being like rubber bands. You don't want to just go in and start stretching, because then you might hurt something, tear something, and you don't want that. Really ease into your workouts, ease into your stretching, and really stretch when you're nice and warm and sweaty, believe it or not. This is really great for your back. A nice little leg twist there. Sometimes you'll hear, snap, crackle, pop. I know I hear that all the time. Now we're going into our straddle. This is great for your abductors and adductors, and really stretching in that groin area, and just holding this is really good. Again, another great hip flexibility exercise. And holding this, now again, some people are more flexible than others. Some people can go all the way down. I think it's really important to actively stretch your upper body forward. Now, if you are turning your legs in, this is just the dancer in me, then you want to pull back some to make sure your feet are facing the ceiling as best they can. And then just reaching from side to side. Now, if you're hitting your leg as you go side, try to lean a little bit forward so you're hitting the floor, and then you'll get a better stretch. Now, this is the hip exercise that I was talking about. We call it in the dance world a froggy stretch. I don't know why, don't ask. But this really, really helps with the hip flexors and really opening up your hips and really helping with that split stretch. So if you can stand it, try to stay in this position. I try to stay in it for a whole song, which is like maybe 3 minutes, but it's rough. It's rough. My dancers hate it. They hate it. And keep your back as parallel to the floor as you can. So keep a flat back. Don't dip your tummy forward towards the ground. Make sure it's up and tight, and then you'll get a better stretch that way. So this is really, really helpful. This is death. So if you are, if you're having hip issues, again, please use discretion. Know your body, know what your limitations are, and if you can and it feels comfortable with a little discomfort, that's fine. But if it's painful, as if like I can't move and I'm getting ready, my legs are getting ready to fall off, then like I said before, abort mission. So I forget what this is called. I do this in yoga all the time, and I do this in dance. Again, this is really helpful for the hips. As you can tell, a lot of flexibility is surrounded by the hips, like surrounding the hips, because that's really what you need. Hips and hamstrings and quads and stuff. You want to really stretch that. But this is really another great hip opener exercise. And this lunge from side to side is really helpful for mobility. So sometimes when people are having difficulty moving, this is really helpful. Now you can go far down, keep your foot flat on the ground, or sometimes people lift the heel a little bit. Again, up to you, but really helps you to be mobile as I'm falling. It's really hard to do this in socks, FYI. But I'm in a public-ish place, so I figured I'd put something on my feet, even though I prefer not to wear socks. But this was my flexibility video, part 1. More to come. For more. Bye.